Hey everyone, it's me, Massacre C, back with another Fortnite video. In this video, I'm going to give you a quick guide to my top 5 bush camping sites on the Chapter 2 Season 3 map. As we all know, the map is changing with the water receding, so this guide may need an update in a few weeks, but I think these locations will stay on top even as the water disappears. If you disagree with my choices, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your opinions and get to know some of your favorite spots as well. Before we get into it, drop a like, hit the bell, please subscribe if you haven't already. If we hit 1,000 subs, we plan to apply for a creator code and set up all kinds of custom matches for you guys. We want to have a blast and pull everyone with us. And by the way, did you have any idea this is what the Marauders do when they're not hunting you down? Fun bunch. All right, let's get into it. Coming in at number 5 is a unique location just east of the Authority comprised of a bunch of bushes linked together. I like to call this one the Horseshoe of Death. Maybe a little overkill. It's actually not that deadly, but it does provide one of the best places on the map to hide yourself and even avoid the most aggressive bush hunters. What makes this location so good is that it has both a chest in the middle of the horseshoe and a campfire. You can either land here right off the battle bus and loot the chest, or you can arrive here with a full loadout and use the chest as bait. If you take a hit, you can always heal up at the campfire before moving on. One of my favorite tactics in Fortnite is bait and wait. Drop bandages, shields, or an attractive weapon as a lure outside the bush to draw in unsuspecting and often low health players, and then pop them with a shotgun. The best thing about the horseshoe is that you don't even have to provide the bait. The chest is its own lure. The other benefit of the horseshoe is the fact that it's a series of interconnected bushes, making it very easy to hide if your location is given away. And while I haven't tried it yet, if you play duos or squads, it seems like the perfect place to catch another team in a crossfire. The main drawback here is that the bush location is low, so you don't get much of a strategic vantage point. You can pick off players coming from the Authority or running to the chest, but apart from that, it's pretty isolated. It's a fun spot, but you probably are not going to win a game from here. Coming in at number 4 is Fortilla East. There are a number of camping spots at the Fortilla, but none better than the bush sitting at the tip of the island directly northeast of the center. This is one of the few bushes on the map with a chest in it, meaning you can land in the bush, loot the chest, and then calmly scope out one of the hottest drops in the map without putting yourself at risk. If you need a quick getaway, there's also a porta potty secret passage directly to the north that takes you to a location across the Fortilla with another few chests. Finally, you can hop on a nearby zip line and drop straight into the action in a more contested island once you get your bearings. I've had pretty good luck in this zone, and on more than one occasion I pulled a hunting rifle from the chest in the bush, dropped Ocean in the building to the east without ever leaving the bush. It's also fun to plink players running around the Fortilla and watch as they try to figure out where the shots are coming from. With all the henchmen and other players buzzing around, it's very difficult to get a beat on you in the bush if you can resist spraying an AR. The drawback here is that you are not always going to pull a rifle or a sniper, and most of the targets are not close. Also, the mound of garbage to the south of the bush forces you to come out of hiding if you want to target anything south or southeast. That said, if you can wait it out, you have a decent chance to ambush a sweat who's just raided Ocean's vault, letting you upgrade your loadout from a one-chest prayer pull to Ocean's mythic burst in the bottomless chug jug. I like to call number 3 the endgame bush. This is not a drop spot. There is no loot here. Instead, this bush is one to seek out endgame if the storm is closing near the center of the map. Also, you're going to want a sniper or a hunting rifle in your loadout to capitalize on the tactical advantage this location offers. The primary benefit of the endgame bush is its central location and height. This spot is essentially a hidden lookout tower in the middle of the map. You get a bird's eye view of the Authority and most of the surrounding area. There are a couple of hills that are going to block your view, but by the time you need this bush, people are going to start boxing themselves up at height and you'll be able to see them anyway. Given the right storm, you'll sit and watch as other players knock each other out, allowing you to pick and choose when to enter the fray. Fixwitty and I actually had a great win from this bush earlier this season, and we did exactly that. By the time we revealed our location, only 3 other players were left in the match, and none of them knew we were there until we took our first shot. That being said, I have found that a lot of players tend to land their choppers here, which makes for some tense moments. You can find your cover blown in an instant, but if you get here early enough for the right storm, you can pick people off before they even get close. Number 2 is the Lazy Lake rotation. Now, rotation may be a bit of an overstatement here, but it's as close as you'll get with a series of bushes. This location is actually 3 different bushes spread out near the perimeter of Lazy Lake. First bush is near a chest on top of the hill with the disabled SUV. This is usually where I drop when the battle bus crosses near Lazy. You can loot the chest, and the bush always spawns some sort of item, but it's very random. I found anywhere from a bundle of wood all the way up to a blue hunting rifle and ammo. I don't stay here, but then I run straight to the next location, directly north of Lazy. This bush has a chest in it, and if you pull the right loot, it makes for an interesting game. But if you get a pistol or an SMG, there's really not much to do here. Lazy can be a very hot drop, and it attracts a lot of marauders, so if you have a decent AR, rifle, or sniper, it's not hard to third-party distracted players without giving away your position. You won't have too much ammo, though, so choose your shots carefully. If you run short, you can always slink down into the nearby townhouses for some extra ammo and loot, which I tend to do on the way to the final location in this rotation, which is the bush directly west of Lazy. I love this bush, and I come here a lot whenever I have a rifle and a decent AR, even if I don't hit the other spots around Lazy. You get a great view of the river, which many players use to try to escape fights. A lot of players crouch and hide along the outside wall in clear view, and the chest by the tree near the river creates an easy target out of loot hunters leaving Lazy. If the storm is closing toward the center of the map, you get a good number of players running with their back to you through the valley to the north of the bush. In addition, this bush sits right on the edge of a cliff, which makes it an easy exit if you get attacked from behind. The drawback here is that the view into Lazy is obscured by a few tall buildings. The second bush discussed above is much better if you're looking to pick off a pair of battling players, but this one nets you far more as they try to escape firefights and marauders unharmed. Leave their loot scattered where it drops, and it's free bait for the next player. When the storm closes in, slide down the cliff and load up. As an aside, there's also a porta potty sitting here out in the open. I don't use it much, but if you get caught in the flats moving from one bush to the next, hop in here. Most players run right by it, and given the right timing, you can pop out like Billy the Kid for an easy shot in the back. And the best location for bush camping on the map? The bush just to the east of Salty Springs. If you've watched any of my videos, you probably already know that this is my favorite location, and it's been that way for a while. There's no loot in the bush, and the views are not very good, but you get a lot of traffic, and the players running by are usually injured or distracted. The most eliminations I had from this bush in one game was 6. That's not a lot for aggro players, but it is a ton to get from a single location without moving. But to make this spot worth your while, you're going to have to duke it out in Salty first, which is not easy. I usually land on the roof of the house directly to the west of this bush and grab the chest in the attic. A lot of people drop into Salty, so you got to make sure you get your drop right. You're probably heading into a 50-50 match for a chest, and a few seconds off will earn you a round trip to the lobby. If you hit the roof first, though, you're going to get a few easy kills right off the bat. As an aside, I have a personal rule not to kill any players if I win a 50-50 and there aren't any other chests around. I hate games that are over in seconds after I hit the ground, so I try to persuade others to leave by pointing my weapon at them. But Salty is an exception. There are just too many chests around, and the chance of a player coming out of the house a few seconds later to destroy you is high. They dropped here knowing it was a 50-50, so I don't have a problem gunning them down. Anyway, if I pull a shotgun in the bandage or a shield from that chest, I usually jump out of the attic and head for the bush. If not, I sneak in and clear the house to grab the chest over the garage as well, and the ammo boxes on the upper floor. I don't mess around with the other houses. My entire goal is to get a couple of good weapons and head out to the bush. Any shotgun above gray or any AR above blue. A hunting rifle is always welcome, but that's not really what this location is about. Once you settle in, it doesn't matter how the storm closes. You're always good here. If the storm closes to the east, you'll get players running from the storm towards Salty. If the storm closes to the west, you'll get players running through Salty toward the Authority. In either case, they usually have decent loot after fighting in 2 very contested locations and probably need a bandage or a shield, which you throw down as bait. Even if the storm closes around you, this is still a good spot. It's just a high traffic area. The strategy here is bait and wait. Drop the bandages, drop a med kit, drop shields or a blue AR if you found one. You're looking to draw players in for a close and easy kill. My weapon of choice here is attack because it's got a quick second shot. But the charged shotgun is a pretty good option here too, but you really can't use its full power because the sound gives you away. Either way, you're never going to see people more confused than when they crouch to heal and then get a shotgun to the face. Many of them jump around or run randomly, and some think the shot came from Salty and build a wall with their back to you. It's like a fly in a spider web, total chaos. If you found an AR, you can also pick off people crouching on the roofline of the gray house across the way, or anyone not drawn in by the bait, but this is really a shotgun show. There aren't too many drawbacks to this camping location other than having to fight your way out of Salty first, but that's part of what makes it fun. You earned your camp spot, and you earned the right to ambush all the sweats as they limp past your bush. It's a great place to build your kills and get loaded up for the rest of the game. The combination of the hot drop, high traffic, and pure number of sweats who run past this location makes this the #1 bush camping spot in the game. Well, that's it. The top 5 bush camping locations in the new map. If you disagree or have your own favorite spots, we'd love to hear them. So let us know in the comments below. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe, hit like, and slam that bell. Until next time, Mazinger C out.